Hi. If you work in a project management domain, I'm gonna tell you 3 big mistakes that you need to pay attention to develop your career and to increase your employability. Stay with me. I'm Rogério Manso, and I'm gonna help you to start project now. I've been working in project management for more than 25 years. And during my career, I had the opportunity to work with many companies in different industries. And I have noted that there are 3 things that most of the professionals working project management do that it's very dangerous for their career. I'm gonna show you 3 these big mistakes. Mistake number 1 is to think that there is no life beyond IT. Most of the professionals in project management think that only in IT industry you can find opportunities to work in project management. In fact, we can find projects everywhere. Doesn't matter what industry your company is working. It's not only in the private sector. Of course, private sector is one of the main opportunity that you can look if you look for an opportunity to work in project management. But you have also the government. The government use a lot of projects to deliver their strategy. And also you have the non-profit organizations. These organizations also have projects, and these projects have a huge constraint in terms of the budget, in terms of the resources. So it's a good opportunity to learn about and to apply project management skills in non-profit organizations. If you ask me what are the industries that most hire project management professionals, I would say that there's not a sequence, but health and oil and gas are some industries that you can find a lot of opportunities. Also, construction, engineering, you have maybe in your country or in your city, aerospace and defense industry that also have a lot of opportunities and projects. Education companies address education projects. It's also a great opportunity to apply project management skills. Telecommunications, manufacturing, and entertainment are also some industries other than IT where you can find good opportunities. The point is, there is life beyond IT. Just to give you some information, according to the PMI, by 2027, employees will need about 87.7 million individuals working in project management oriented roles. It's not only project managers, it's everyone that have some action, some role in project management. Could be controllers, analysts, many other professionals that have working or that are working in project management. If you think that you need about 87 million by 2027, this research was done in 2017, which means in 10 years, they need about 2.2 million new project-oriented roles every year. This is a huge opportunity in the job market for you that are looking to start your career in project management. These 2.2 million, it's split around many countries. So let me give you some ideas in terms of the countries that most are looking most for professionals in project management oriented. According to the PMI, you have some specific countries that are in the top of this list, like China, India, and United States. These three countries are the big three that have more in-demand opportunities for project management-oriented roles. But you have also Brazil, Japan, United Kingdom, England, Germany, Australia, Canada. So you see, these numbers shows what is the demand for project management professionals around the world. So doesn't matter where do you live. For sure, project management is one of the most in-demand sector for professionals. My suggestion is that you start learning Chinese or Hindi, and maybe you're gonna find a good opportunity on China or India. The second mistake is don't think out of the box when choosing the project management strategy. The big problem when you make this mistake is that there's not only one strategy to manage a project. I see many professionals today that think that there's only traditional or only agile that could solve their problem. There's not a silver bullet to manage a project. To define a project management strategy, you should consider many factors, and this is very important. The first point is the customer expectation. You need to understand what your customer, what your user are expecting from your project in terms of the results, in terms of the value. Second point, you need to think about the scope, if it's a product, a service, or a result. In my last video, I gave some example about product, service, and result. Take a look in my last video to understand what's the difference between these three possibilities in your project. Another point, resources. You need to understand what is the resource that you need and what is the availability of this resource. Where are these resources? What they know? What are their training? What their knowledge? What the skills of your team? You need to understand that sometimes you will not have the best resources available in your project. Another point, the governance. Some projects, some industries, you have a rigid structure of documentation, security. So most of the time in these kind of industries, you cannot use an approach that is too much flexible. The point is you need to understand the governance in project management in your company, in your enterprise. Conformity to rules. Some industries like finance, government, security, military are companies that have very strict rules. And sometimes, most of the time, you cannot change these rules. And these rules will have a huge impact in your project. So you need to be conform with these rules to manage your project. And these rules will have an impact in terms of your delivery in your resources. Another point is documentation. Some industries, some projects have lower need on documentation. Other industries have more need in terms of the documentation. So you need to understand what is really the need, what you need to document in your project to choose the right strategy. Another point is the culture. The culture to adopt a framework, a culture to adopt a model. And this is something that you cannot change easily. To change a culture, to adopt a new culture in your company takes time. And you have sometimes a great resistance from the resources that are working in this company to accept this new culture. One more point is the scalability. Some projects you need to scale to a next level. You're going to start small and you're going to become big. It's important that the framework, the strategy that you're going to choose allows you to scale your project to next level. And some strategies, some models are easier to do this. And finally, the complexity of your project. Some strategies are more oriented to a kind of complexity in your project. Agile, for example, it's a very good strategy to adopt in complex models, complex projects. Traditional, it's better if you have a less complex project. So you need to understand how complex it's to address your project, to address the product of your project, to find the best strategy, the best model. To give you some example about the use of some approaches in project management, let me share you a research done by the PMI that shows some of the main models, the main strategies that are adopted in companies today. As you can see, we still have waterfall as the main framework, the main approach on delivering, on managing projects. We comes after with Agile, and take a look. Hybrid is one of the strategy that it's also very important, very used in companies. You see in this graph two bars, one bar in blue and one bar in orange. The blue bar is for what we call dynastic enterprise. Dynastic enterprise, it's the companies that put more focus on the outcomes than on the process. If you see only the blue bar, you see that the outcomes from the model for these companies are still the waterfall, the most used model, the most used approach. Agile and hybrid stays close between them. When you go to a traditional companies that put more focus on the approach, the model, then it's really the most used framework, and Agile in second and hybrid in third. What you can learn from this graph, that despite the society, the domain in project management says that Agile and hybrid are very important. Yes, they are very important, but don't forget about the traditional, the waterfall. It is still the main framework, the main approach, the main strategy when we think about delivering a project. As I said, changing a culture in a company is not easy. That's why moving from waterfall to Agile or to hybrid is not so simple as we think. So think about when you go to define your model, don't stay too firm, too close to just one model. Third mistake is when you forget to add value to your career. And for me, this is the worst mistake that you can have in your career. I would say I like this quote, never stop learning because life never stop teaching. If you think that your knowledge and your experience that you have today, it's enough to keep your job, I have something to tell you. You are absolutely wrong. Never, ever stop learning. Never, ever stop acquiring new skills. Let me show you some very important skills that are in demand for professionals in project management. As you know, we have softer skills and we have hard skills. In terms of soft skills, adaptability. Adaptability is the capacity that you have to adapt to a new situation, a new context, and even to adapt to a new model, as you just said. Innovative mindset, collaborative leadership. This is very important, especially if you are working in Agile framework. Awareness of the business environment. Why this is important? Because you need to think about value to your company, value to your business. So you need to understand the environment that your company, your business, your enterprise are putting in, so you can understand what means value for this company. Empathy is important to your team. You need to understand, you need to put in their place, you need to put in the place of your sponsor, to put in the place of your customer, your users, to understand what they think, what they need. Development skills in terms of programming, in this case, is more for the IT industry. Knowing how different parts of the business work together. You need to understand that your project is not only limited to the department that you are working. Your project, when they go on production, they will have impact, they will have connections to many other departments and even outside the company. Another soft skill is skills and competence to development among young adults. We know that most of our resources, especially in IT, are young people. And we need to know how to work with these people. If you are like me, the old generation, you need to adapt, you need to understand, you need to listen to these people. And translating macro business objectives to your role. As I said, it's very important that you understand, you put in place that you see your company as your CEO see your company. You need to think what is important for your company, what's the best value that you can deliver in your project for your company. For harder skills, everything that is related to project management, process management, project control, scheduling, project planning, budget management, task management, risk management. These are the processes that you need to master as much as possible. Project management tools, you need to learn, you need to master project management tools that your company are using and didn't the market are using. Maybe your company adopt a tool that is not what most of the market or your domain adopt. So you need to understand you need to master this tool, but you also need to learn about what is used in the job market. And you need to have technical skills, writing and reading, idioms. It's very important. If you don't speak a second language, I recommend you to learn some second idiom. And MS Office. MS Office is very important because it's the tool that the majority of the companies today use, and this is integrated with some other tools like SharePoint, Teams, MS Project, and so on. So you need to master these tools. When we talk about developing skills, we talk about learning and how to add value to your career. First, keep studying, doing courses and certifications in project management. Never stop learning. Go to Congress and webinars. This is very important to learn, to increase your network, and to see what is the up-to-date in project management. Find a mentor. If you know someone that have a career that is an example, it's something that you can refer, that you can learn with this person. Contact this person, talk to him, talk to her. Say that you are trying to develop a career successful like him or her, and ask her to be your mentor. Take continuing education courses. In this case, I'm not talking about project management. I'm talking about any other thing that could help you in your career. For example, if you don't master Excel, do a course with Excel. If you don't master PowerPoint, do a course for PowerPoint. If you don't know about speaking in public, in front of others, do a course about how to speak in public. So try to keep studying some complementary courses that will help you to be a good professional. And join a professional association. In our particular case, I'm talking about the PMI. The PMI, and of course the chapter close to you in your city, it's the best way to see events, congress, webinars, information, material, network, that volunteer. Okay, volunteer is very important. You can work as a volunteer in PMI chapters, and it's a way that you can, look people working project management. You can share your experience. You can learn about project management. So join a professional association. If you are an engineer, try to find the engineer association in your city. If you work in any other domain, try to associate to a professional association that will give you some insights about what are the best projects, what they need, that's the up-to-date information in your domain. So don't make these 3 mistakes. Think always in your professional and start projecting now.